sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green is from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the dark child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, our Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0. Yes, we are 4-0. We defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after having a very comfortable lead, making it a lot closer than what it should have been, but it's a W nonetheless. We're going to break it all down. I'm excited to be 4-0. I'm excited. We've seen for one complete game, the second half of last week and the first half of this week, of an explosive offense. That has me very encouraged. But that second half was a little different. Went back to looking anemic. But I was very encouraged over the first half. So I'm going to be excited right now for the moment over that first half and being able to just sustain the lead that we built. Because there's no win without that first half. So I know how disappointed we might all be because of we only scored 7 points in the second half. If not for that first half, we wouldn't even be talking about this game right now. With what happened in that second half, without the cushion that we have built, this would be a different conversation we'll be having right
now. Defense win championships and 2 70-yard plays in one game when you already had a team down. Let's take this shot. Goodness gracious. I'm nervous over here. Why am I nervous? I shouldn't be nervous when we're up 21-3 at halftime. I mean 21-6 at halftime. Like, we gotta be better. You know, I know Jada's gonna say that. You know, you gotta be better. You got AJ Brown, one catch. You can't force feed the AJ Brown. You gotta rotate him into the offense. All right. The last 2 drives, you try to force feed AJ Brown, and it doesn't work like that. He's in the rhythm. He has to be in the rhythm. The offense needs to be in rhythm. All that being said, Lane Johnson was out again. We're 4-0.
Yeah, the Lane. I'm glad you brought that up. The Lane Johnson injury. You saw how much that affected, and we're not. And, you know, we know what happened when Lane does not play, and he was not in that second half, and it was a notable difference. But alongside of that, Tyler Steen was out as well. So you had 2 backups in on the right side of that offensive line, and that may have been a major cause of why the offense performed the way it did. Jalen did not look good in the second half, so I'm not going to put it all on the offensive line play. He just did not. First half, lights out. Second half, I don't have the numbers. Did he complete a pass? Did he wind up completing a pass? Because I know.
Man, listen, going to halftime, he was 15 for 17. Going to halftime. He in the game 15 for 24.
Yeah. He had a horrible second half. And that was discouraging. I get it. Some things that happen on defense were good plays by Tampa Bay. But that long touchdown where Makuba made a rookie mistake and allowed that's not normal. So, although it happened, that's not something that, I expect to see a lot. Not with the way this defense has played in the past. That was a mistake. We know that. And they happened in the game. Now, that pass to Irvin being covered by Jahad Campbell, that was a good play. Now, that was a good play. You want your you want your running back lined up against the linebacker in coverage, right? That's what we look for. Everybody looks for that. Although that linebacker was the athletic Jahad Campbell, that's the matchup that you look for, and they took advantage of it. That was a good play, good catch.
Well, anyway, let's do this shot. So I need to calm my nerves down.
Oh my goodness, you make it look bad. Like we need to drink. All right, here we go. I'm only kidding. Look, here we go. Look, man, I'm happy. 4-0. We go down there. Jalen was 1-4 coming into this contest against the Tampa Bay Bucs, and he went out. He left out 2-4. So that's great. So let's celebrate our Philadelphia Eagles right here with a shot, victorious shot. Philadelphia over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. No, I don't want to do that. No. I thought I had the Fly Eagles Fly song.
I got it for you.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's good. Eagles fly on the road to
Fly, Eagles fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Yes, that's right. Our Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0. Very scary game. Very scary game. Almost duplicated what happened last week. I was not afraid, but I was very concerned that may be the outcome today. Happy that it was not, but I'm like, wow, we're getting done to us what we did to the Rams last week. And that was kind of like very scary to see.
Yeah, it was getting close there. I mean, with those two 70-yard touchdowns basically gave them momentum. The big momentum is real in a football game, especially down there in that heat. I mean, you can see some of the players getting tired, ready to call it quits. But those two 70-yard bombs, 172, one was 77, basically put the heartbeat back into the Buccaneers. Before that, I mean, this defense did the doggone thing. Let's be honest. That's 14 points you just gave up. When you didn't have to give up 14 points. I mean, we won the game 25-31. Take away 14 points, it's a whole different story. It's 11-31. I mean not 11-31, but it's like 10-31. So the fact of the matter is that we can't give up big plays. Vic Fangio put this defense together for you to be cerebral, for you to pay attention to what's in front of you. Now, big players are going to happen like that, like you talked about it earlier. Jahad Campbell, 1-on-1 with Bucky Irvin. That's your welcome to the NFL moment, rookie. I'm happy he was able to turn it around and get our interception for a touchback to stifle that drive. But Makuba,
Yeah,
you got to be smarter in that. You got to understand in those type of situations that you got to be the deepest man there. You can't be underneath. What are you looking at? Is a receiver running right by you? It's not a safety near you. You're the safety.
mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things you can learn from this game. There's a lot of things on defense, offense. We.
All right, I don't want to hear that part. I'm going to the good part. And that first half, that offense looked great. That first half, it looked great. I mean, it started off with the special team play for a touchdown, put us up 7-0. Mm-hmm. But that drive, they got creative down inside the 20, inside the 5, as a matter of fact, with the little shovel passes or flips to Goddard, misdirection on the other side. Those were creative plays. That's what I like to see with this offense, being creative and not so predictable. I was excited with the way they moved the ball, the dry finishing touchdown plays that were called, and it looked like a continuation of what we saw last week in the second half. Very excited. Some things happen. We got injuries. Tampa Bay dialed up a little more pressure. I really think that Jalen was affected when he hit his head on the turf. But whatever case, they went back. They kind of took a step backwards in the second half. I get that. And so thank God. Thank God for that first half. Thank God for that offensive sighting that we saw in consecutive weeks. Although we only saw one half this week, I'll take it. I'll still take it, because those previous 2.5 games where we saw anemic offense, it was just a joy to see that in the first half.
Yeah, it was good to see our offense finally put up points. They put up 3 touchdowns. They were different. They were actually innovative type of plays. I know we look at the first play, it was a quad set. It was 4 wide receivers. The tight end came over in a diamond set. All he did is throw the ball to the tight end quickly and fast. I've seen that before. The second play was a shovel pass. Andy Reid was known for his shovel pass. It was just being how they designed the play was very good. And actually the fake tush push, we've seen this play before. We literally seen this play before. That they executed perfectly in that moment was something to behold. You know, things can go right. You got to play within the offense. You can't just try to force feed your playmakers. You know, when you force feed your playmakers, things happen. Bad things happen. And they have to be better just having a flow offense moving forward. And if they do that, this team is going to be something to behold. Because once we find a defensive end and Keely Ringo can start tackling, I mean, because he was good in coverage. He was very good in coverage. He had one PI which was questionable, but it is what it is. He was very good in coverage, but tackling was a terrible thing.
Yeah, see, and that's what will keep him out of the lineup. You know what I mean? Like the person that's playing is complete. They're covering and they're tackling.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? You can't have one over the other. But I was encouraged that he didn't get beat, you know, like he got, you know, like Jamar Chase beat him in
Ooh, no.
So I'm happy not to see that. And I'm even grateful for the coverage he provided. But the tackling was horrible. He had a couple plays, man. If it wasn't for the fact that this was a swarming defense, you know, they might have been bigger games than what they were.
Yeah, definitely. Like this, man. Shout out to our defense. Shout out to Zach Bond. Shout out Jahad Campbell. Even though, you know, he gave up a touchdown, he still came to play. Cooper DeJean, I call him DeJean. He's making tackles everywhere on the field. And my man Q, listen, he's getting the vet treatment because a lot of cornerbacks, veteran cornerbacks, you know, the refs let them, you know, get away with a little tug of the jersey here and there. And he's getting that treatment right now because he's been very good in coverage. He had a great pass breakup in Mika going into the end zone. Great pass breakup. It was a lot of good things I saw from our defense, but a lot of good things that I think we need to go ahead and Howie Roseman needs to call Cincinnati and trade for Henderson, man. We need a defense end that can rush right now.
Yeah,
and we don't have that. We don't have that. We don't have the defense end that can get up the field because you got the two guys pushing the middle field. You have nothing on the outside, and that's what we need. So I'm happy that we're 4-0.
So you didn't see the effort out of them that showed you any improvement or anything.
I mean, we had 2 sacks against Baker Mayfield. Yeah, we had 2 sacks, and we got the second sack late in the game, which was a twist concept, which was great. It was up front, but at the same time, we weren't getting no real good pass rush from our defensive ends. Everything was up the middle. He was getting pressured the whole game. I'm not going to say he wasn't getting pressured. He was getting pressured the whole game, but was directly up the middle. And you know, for things to go right down the road, we need that monster defensive end that comes off the edge that forces the quarterback to step up into that rush. That's where you get your sacks from. We saw it in the Super Bowl, right?
Duly noted. I'll look at it again. But you know, I'll trust your eyesight. I was kind of focused on some other things, and you know, we didn't get the pass rush that we had, you know, wanted, that we want to see on a regular basis. I don't think we got that. We got some timely pass rush though, that, you know, really was on time, like that final sack. What Jomo?
Jomo, that was a twist.
Jomo.
That was a
great sack. Big ups to the defense, man, for coming up big once again, because they saved that with that play right there. That basically saved it. They pushed them out, and we stopped them on 4 down. So again, the defense, man, is a total team effort, and that's why this team is still great in my eyes. Are there things to work on? Sure, there are things to work on, but we're winning, and we're doing it in impressive fashion, and we're not hitting on all cylinders. I know it was a little scary today, but that first half was impressive fashion. That second half of last week was impressive fashion. So we're showing glimpses of that. We just have to be a little more consistent in doing that, and this team will really be scary because we do have a solid team, offense and defense. Special teams also. Let me not forget them because I always give
man.
the past 2 weeks I've been giving the credit for the block punts and all that stuff for the defense. Those are special teams. That's the
Can we
special
get a hand
teams
clap
team.
for the special teams? Can we get
So
a hand clap for the special
teams 2
teams?
weeks in a row. You know, we
Man,
can count up the big plays. 2 block field goals, a block punt, return for, 2 block field goals, 1 being returned for a touchdown, a block punt for a touchdown. The special teams are on fire, and we know we have solid offensive, defensive units, man. So when this team is hitting on all cylinders, it's a scary thing. But make no mistake about it, that's why teams like this are great, because they win even when they're not hitting on all cylinders, because if one unit is down, the other unit is picking them up.
yeah.
Not everybody has that luxury of being able to say that. Some people have a strong offense and the defense is not there. So if they don't show up, it's going to be a long day. You know what I'm saying? There's some people have strong defenses, but they can't put points on the board. For that, it's going to be a long day. So if the defense doesn't show up, that's going to be a long day. But us, if the offense doesn't show up, the defense picks up. The defense can do it by themselves.
The defense
in the game.
What we had 3 turnovers today. We had 2 interceptions. No, we had 1 interception, a fumble recovery. Our defense is balling out when we need them. And that's all you ask them to do. Continue to ball out until we get the extra pieces in place. So I'm pretty sure what they're going to do is once Kobe Dean is now eligible to come back, he's going back into a starting position. And guess what? Jahad Campbell don't come off the field. You got to put him at rush in now. He's going to be your next rush in because he has the ability to rush and to drop back. He's just a special linebacker, even though he got beat by Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin is 5'9", 199 pounds. I mean, Jahad Campbell is 6'3", 245. Like, you want your linebacker that close in coverage in those type of situations. Like, that is a situation where it is a lose-lose, but at the end of the day, you learn from that as a rookie. You learn as that. Makuba, you have to learn from this. You got to learn that you cannot get beat like that. You have to come up and make these plays and be aware of all the receivers in your area when you're playing these type of zone coverages.
So, and I'm glad you brought that up because we're talking about 2 mistakes. These players are dynamic players, but let's be real, they're rookies, right? Yeah. So you learn by playing. You learn by learning from your mistakes. So this is the time for them to learn, right? And we hope to be, and by the second half, end of the season, that they have stepped up a level because of the experience they are getting now, being in the line of fire, playing under live fire, so to speak. So I still see that that's not going to happen all the time. Makuba is better than that mistake. Jahad is better than that play right there. So as they get better, I don't see those type of plays happening. They don't happen often. So although they made it closer, I'm still happy with the win. I still feel good about this team. I know when sports talk radio begins tonight into tomorrow, we're going to hear a lot about that second half. We are. But this is a situation in my eyes where you look at the glass half empty or half full. I choose to look at it half full. That's a big win. We're learning to win, or not even learning. At this point, it's just a part of who we are. We have learned how to win. Last year has taught us how to win. There's a difference when a team is in the process of trying to turn their team around. We've just solidified a culture of how to win. It's different. It's different when you know how to win, when you expect to win, when you don't give up. None of the team gives up. Again, offense bad second half, defense picks it up when they have to. And that's what great teams do. So I'm happy. I'm happy 4-0. Yes. Who's next? Denver, who's up?
I'm happy too, man, but we got to be a little bit better in this offense, more innovative in this offense. We're stagnant. That second half was just vanilla. It went back to the first half of the game against the Rams.
Sure.
I understand we're up by points. I understand we're up by so many points. And I'm don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative that we're 4-0. I'm very happy. There's a lot of good things that happened in this game. Like you said, DarkKnight, the special teams. The defense stepped up when we needed them to step up. They are rookies. They're going to learn them. They're going to have their mistakes on the fly, and they're going to only go get better from this. So yes, I understand that. I get that. But at the same time, we look at this offense. This offense, they're not rookies.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing together,
Mm-hmm.
and right now they look like hot trash. I heard they look like hot trash.
They finished the game looking up high.
They did finish the game, and Saquon Barkley had what, a 2 point. Let me go back to his run. He had 2.3 average. This offensive line, I don't know what's going on with Lane Johnson. He tweaked his neck. He needs to sit out at least one game or something so he can get right. Right.
Right.
All right. Fred Johnson, I have all my respect to Fred Johnson, the next man up that can take his spot, because I've seen it against top-notch pass rushers, right? Against the Rams. He stoned Jarek Verse. Even against the Buccaneers, he did a particularly good job. Let Lane Johnson get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's out there fighting the uphill battle. You're not going to win. Father Time is undefeated, and right now you're testing your body hell during a game that's 102 degrees out there. You know, those muscles ain't going. Their muscles ain't going to get better outside.
Well, I think they made the right decision on sitting them down and not taking any chances. You know, we know how important Lane Johnson is to the Philadelphia Eagles. He's one of those pillars that help build the culture of winning. He knows how to win. Yes. And it's evident when he plays and starts for the Philadelphia Eagles and their record when that happens. So, hey, err on the side of caution when it comes to his health and such. But when he's not in there, there is a considerable difference. And that may have contributed to some of the offense looking like it did in the second half. I can't deny that. I mean, I just said both he and Tyler Steen was injured and replaced by backups. So half of our offensive line, not to make excuses, but that did play a factor. So again, kudos to the defense. And that was a grueling game. 110 degrees on the field. That's hot. And this defense.
You said that's hot.
That's hot. Like Kevin Hart says, hot, daddy, hot. Hot. It was hot down there, right? And you could there was a stretch where I can see the exhaustion in the defense, right?
Yeah.
But when it was most needed, that defense stepped up and came up big, and that's just a part of the battle. That's why we love football, man. It's a war out there for 60 minutes, man. And to watch it unfold it just brings my heart pure joy just to watch that whole scenario unfold. Warriors on the field battling to the death almost. You know what I mean? Boom, they were tired. But when we needed that sack, boy, they dug down and got that sack. It's hot out there. They didn't play like that in the first half. They didn't have to. The offense did their job, and that was what was on display in the first half was an example of how this team can perform, how great this team could be, how strong and overpowering this team could be when all units are performing up to their potential. Second half was the example of how great teams find a way to win when a part of their game is taken away from them. That's what we saw in the second half. So I'm encouraged. I'm still encouraged because that's the pedigree that champions are made of. When you know how to win, when you know how to win, it's a different feeling. All right, I've been too long. I've been reading you guys' comments, but let me read them on the air and see what you guys are saying. Palatero, haven't seen you in a while, but welcome back. Sirianni has to have this OC do better, especially in the second half. That is agreed. What else? Palatero's been doing all the talking. Let me get somebody else here. Anthony Martin, Jalen Hurts is regressing before our eyes, and y'all want to cover that up because we are winning ugly games.
I'm not covering it up. I'll tell you for real. DarkKnight said it. He said when he hit his head, his whole game changed. He was off.
I was like, yo, I was really concerned about that, but I'm not making excuses for him because in that first half when I didn't think he hit his head, we saw the Jalen that I think that we'll see that he is. You know what I mean? Now, if it is true that he has, that hit or that his head hitting the ground had an effect, then that's not an excuse. That's just a part of the game. You
I
get
tell you,
hurt, and quarterbacks sometimes get knocked silly. You know what I'm saying?
they do.
And they still try to finish. So that's a part of the game. That's not an excuse. I'm just pointing out what might have been. All right. Robin says, I'm with you, Pat, on whatever you said. She's with you.
Oh, the
All right.
offense got to be
Rachel
better.
says,
Yeah.
Jack Harlow offense in the second half. Why can't OC scheme
Vanilla.
1-1, 1 and 1A, receivers open? Yeah, that's still something that we need to work on. As encouraged as I was to see the offensive creativity in the first half, I was that disappointed to see that bland offense that we saw in the second half. And to speak to Pat's point of forcing the ball to AJ, didn't work out too well. It didn't work out. You have to have balance. You got to be creative. I think you have to be more creative than that. But you know what? I'll tell you what I was happy with. I was happy with how Jalen was performing against the blitz in the first half.
Oh yeah, definitely. He
Did
did
you
it
see
well.
that? That was efficient. That was what I wanted to see last week against the Rams, or any time a team goes blitz heavy against Jalen. That offense that we saw him handle against the blitz should be in place all the time. That's all I was saying. It looked like they actually practiced for the blitz this week. And I think it should have happened a long time ago, because that is what teams like to do against Jalen. They like the blitz. So I was happy to see them have packages for the blitz in that first half, and they were effective. So we're you know what I mean, we're still developing. This is our fifth OC in 5 consecutive years.
Wait a
Fifth
minute,
different
DarkKnight.
play caller.
Wait a minute, DarkKnight. Wait a minute, DarkKnight. I get you. You're taking up for your Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll take up for them too. I love them. I love my team. We're Super Bowl champions. That's in the past now, right? We're 4 games deep into the season, and we're still developing. No, these players have played together already, going on to the second season. And I'm not. Listen, I know you're shaking your head, but you have been here. We did the same thing with Brian Johnson. We said, all right, they developing. They doing all right. They're going to be okay. They went 10 games. We barely won games, but we were happy. We were satisfied. Listen, we seen this same story, but on a different page. And we know what might happen at the end of the story. We don't want to see the ending of the story being the same like 2 years ago. Not even close.
Well, we've been seeing this. This is a part of the process. It is a part of the process. Like it or not, when you change OCs, there's an adjustment that has to happen. I don't care if you're running the same playbook. We've seen it in the past. We've seen Sirianni say, look, I suck at this. Let me turn the play calling duties over to Steichen. Steichen didn't go ahead and get another playbook. He had took that same playbook and he started calling those plays out of that playbook.
But you don't need
and it looked a lot different. So there's always an adjustment, even with the same playbook. That the offensive unit has to get used to how that offensive coordinator is going to deploy that intensive playbook that they have, because it's not just a 10-page playbook. You know what I'm saying? So you have an offensive coordinator that might be looking at a 200-page playbook, and he might like the first 50 pages. Steichen might have liked the middle 50 pages, but they have to all get on the same page of what they like, what works. And that's
logic,
natural.
That logic you just stated works in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Moving forward, it doesn't work any longer, because your job as an offensive coordinator is to find those 50 plays in the middle that work well.
He's finding that flow. He had it in the first half he had it last week. He had it in the first half. He's got to find a flow where he's doing that for 60 minutes a game. That's what we got to find. We got to find that flow where we're able to do it on a more consistent basis. I don't have any problem throwing Patullo under the bus, but I'm not going to be as critical when I've seen some, at least a half. I mean, come on, man. It's not been only 2 weeks ago that we saw a game when the whole game looked like that. The whole game looked like that. We wasn't getting a half of looking like that. The whole game. So am I happy to see at least a half of improvement? Yes, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to pray that it continues to develop to where it's a complete game on offense. But let's not forget, that this team does play against defenses. They are, when they come into the game, that defense had prepared to try to stop what the Eagles are doing. So there's not going to be a day where we're just going to run over everybody all the time. We're playing against other professional teams, other defensive coordinators that are getting paid good money to come in and learn how to stop this team. We're the champs now. Everybody's going to give us their best shot, and we're seeing it. We haven't had a game where a team laid down yet, and maybe that might be something that we can point to as to why these games are tougher. The competition is tough. We have one of the toughest schedules in the league. We play 11 of our 17 games are against playoff teams for last year. They were playoff teams for a reason. They're competitors, and we're the top of the mountain. Everybody's going to give us. Even the bad teams are going to give us their best shot. Everyone wants to knock off the champ, and we're that champ.
I absolutely agree with you. We're going to get everybody's best effort every single week because what you just stated, we're the champs. It's a playoff atmosphere. It's a playoff game. It's a defensive coordinator is going to try to win his coaching job against us every single week. But we're grown men on this side, and right now they're getting their skirts pulled up. Right? You got to be able to punch. Wait a minute, you're going too far. We're not.
I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize. We're not doing any more shots. He done went way over range. Like wait a minute. That last energy was like we weren't 4-0.
I mean, we are 4-0. I apologize.
That energy was like we was you. Wait a minute. Hold up. Give us our respect. But everybody's not 4-0 out here.
You're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Look at the games we played. Look at the games we played.
We played real good teams. I agree with you.
And what's our record? I didn't even have us 4-0 at this point. We did our preseason predictions for the year. I didn't. I think all of us had a loss in the first one. No, maybe not.
Wait a minute.
You're like,
I got it right here.
Yeah, he got us 15-2. So he don't have us winning, but I mean losing but 2 games. But I had it something like
4-0. This was last year. Oh no, this is not that year. Oh no.
So I didn't have. I think I had us having 1 loss in these first 4 weeks. I'm not sure. But
yes, you did. The Rams. The Rams was the loss.
I thought the Rams might have been a tough game. But so to my surprise, we've beaten even my expectations, and I thought that was a pretty good record after 4 games, 3-1. But we're 4-0. We're 4-0. What are you talking about?
Well, I knew we going to be 4-0. DarkKnight.
We played Kansas City. We played the Rams, and we played Tampa Bay. These are not, I mean, we're not talking about bottom tier teams here. We're talking about top 2 tiers in the league teams we have beaten. 3 of them.
You know what, DarkKnight? I'm going to let you be great. I'm going to let you be great because this has a feeling of 2023 all over again. To me, it does. All right? We're searching for our identity on offense. We have
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Defense was not. That's defense.
I mean, our defense is better. Our defense is much better.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm not talking about our defense, though, DarkKnight. I'm not talking about our defense at all.
Let me give you the differences from that, and I get it. I get the analogy. It makes sense. This looks the same. We're just barely winning. We're looking like I thought Kansas City looked last year. Barely winning games, and they tout this team to be one of the best in the league.
They got blown out in the
talent that we have. That's number one. We have this, and this team has way more talent than that team that collapsed the other year. A lot of differences. This team has a top-notch defense. A top-notch defense, and what comes along with that defense that I think personifies the whole team is this defense is tough. Tougher than a mofo, this defense is. And I would say that describes the entire team. This is a tough team. That right there alone differentiates that team from 23 and this team here this year. That team in 23, we heard adjectives like soft as toilet tissue. Defense was a disgrace. We don't have that here now.
No,
So these men
again,
feel a lot
Dark Knight,
different to me.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Our defense is night and day compared to 2023. Our defense, we have a very good defense. Borderline being a great defense like it was last year again. We're missing two pieces. Once we grab those two pieces, I know how he's working the phones right now. We'll be a great defense again. I agree with that. Our special teams is up to par right now. Our special teams is probably the best special teams in the National Football League, right? Shoot, Jake Elliott hasn't missed a field goal. And he's only been kicking over 50-yard field goals. So when he kicked the 38-yarder, it's like, oh, this is a short kick. So, we've been on those two aspects of the game, we have been great. Our offensive side of the ball. And again, it goes back to, like, I love Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts because without him on the field, we don't take our step where we need to be at right now. We're not 4-0 without Jalen Hurts. But we have so much room to be better in these games. We're up 21-3. 21-6. We get the ball back at halftime. We should be punching them in the mouth. It should be nothing finesse. It should be nothing vanilla. We should be keeping our foot on the accelerator. This game should not even been close. I understand that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a very good team. They're a playoff team. They're going to be in the playoffs when they get their guys back healthy. That defense ran by Todd Bowles. It's going to be a top 5 defense. I get that. I understand that. But you need to take some time off the clock for your defense in that heat. And again, I'm only saying this because they need to realize that what they're running right now is crappy ass plays. The setup of a crappy ass plays. There is no general flow. If the ball wasn't given to them within the 50-yard line or here and there and those small penalties, what would it be? What would it have been if we didn't block that punt? So I'm not saying that our team is the 2023 version. We're not close to that. Our defense is extraordinary. Our defense is our special teams is in the stratosphere right now. Can our offense be much better? 1,000% best. Yes. There's no flow. There's no constant flow. What we saw last week in the second half, it was a flow. It was a flow, Dark Knight. It was a get up to the line of scrimmage and flow. Could have been a heat, yes. Listen, 102 degrees, that's hot.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put some butter on the players and tell them to turn slowly. Right? I get that. We're playing the Denver Broncos coming up, right? We're playing Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos had some very good players on defense. Mm-hmm. But again, we're much bigger than the Denver Broncos. We're more physical than the Denver Broncos. This should not even be a close game against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
No vanilla. That's all I'm saying. You have to punish these teams for stepping on the field with you.
I'm sorry. I thought the point was to win the game.
It is to win the game, but at the same time, you have to punish these teams.
I'm from the camp of win the game. That's all. I'm from that camp. I don't care if we win every game like this, as long as it leads to us winning the last game. Because the only way you can have a possibility of getting to the last game is you got to win games.
Well,
I'm worried about working those kinks out as we go along. So I wanted to look better. Of course, I wanted to look better. Mm-hmm. But in the light of it looking better, I'm 4-0.
Yeah, we are
4-0, and I'm still waiting. I am okay with I'm not okay. I want it to be better, of course. But I understand that there's a process. There's a little flip than what I thought it would be. I thought that the defense would take a while to gel because of the players that left last year and they were being replaced, and some by rookies. I thought that would be a longer adjustment, but they're ahead of schedule. I always thought that the offense was going to be our biggest concern. I said that in the offseason. I said that in the preseason. I always pointed to the OC. Mm-hmm. So I'm not alleviating him from any responsibility in this thing. I understand. I thought that might be a problem because we've had OC changes that were that problem. We saw what happened when Brian Johnson was here. We've seen that. And that was my fear. Like, I hope that we don't have another situation like that. Mm-hmm. And until I see him do it consistently, because this is a very, very short sample size. I can't judge him on this alone. I have to give him a chance. I mean, we saw a whole season of the horrendous play calling of Brian Johnson. So I have no other choice but to give him time, right? Am I happy? No. Are there flashes where he looks like he's putting it together? Yes, there are. So I'm trying to look at that, and I'm hopefully thinking that he's going to get it together. He's going to find a flow, and he's going to be able to call a game like he did in the second half of last week and the first half of this week for the entire game. And we're going to see a whole game like that.
I hope so.
I don't discount the fact that we are playing other good teams.
Well, again, a win is a win. DarkKnight, I do agree. A win is a win. We're 4-0, and historically, teams that go 4-0 to start the season are 83%. Or let me read it again: 83.7% chance to make the playoffs. So we're halfway there, right? We're halfway there to make the playoffs, and I agree with you, DarkKnight. I agree that we being 4-0. There's not many teams in the NFL that are 4-0.
Hold on, wait a minute. We just heard from one of our best followers ever in the history of Eagles Talk, Dion. Let's see what Dion has to say. Oh, I love your points, Pat, but I'm with DarkKnight on this one. This is not the 2023 team. Again, one of our most brilliant followers here. Thank you, Dion, for chiming in right there with your expert analysis of what we're talking about here.
Well, let's go to Airwalk, tribe leader, who's actually at the game. Luckily, they jumped on him early. If not, it would have been a different game and score. He was there at the game.
I know. I don't deny that. I've said that early in this program. Yes, if had it not been for that first half, which makes my point. It had not been for. That's why I'm grateful, man. I know I didn't see it all game, but if I didn't see it in the first half, we wouldn't be talking. This would be a whole different conversation. Yeah. We would most certainly be calling for the OCs behind if they came out and played the second half like they did. Played the first half like they did the second half. We would be calling for his head right now. And this would not be a W, but this would be a loss. So his contribution, his creativity did contribute to this win because we had we were all dancing. I know I was dancing. If you would have saw me, I went and watched it over my neighbor's house and they were there and I come in and I was loud the whole first half. Got a little quieter in the second, but it was a big party in the first half. It was looking great. Yeah. Everything was working. It looked creative. It would look fluid. And then, then the second half came. I don't know. It's speculation that, maybe Jalen was affected by that, his head hitting the turf like that. I don't know. But
not all the players were affected. Like, come on, we got to get the better blocking. Villa is 6'2", of 399 pounds, and he dissect a 4'5" Jalen Hurts.
This is a good comment right here. Herman Wood. Offensive line not blocking like last year. Get off their asses. I agree with that.
Nichelle said this. Nichelle said the offensive line will block for Saquon, but they will not block for Jalen Hurts in the passing game. There's something about that. And quite frequently in the second half, we did see that. Is it sometimes the recognition was slow? Yeah. They broke corner blitzes a lot in the second half that they didn't do in the first half.
Right. But let me just correct you because you sound like you took a shot at my offensive line. Number one. You know what I mean?
I love my offensive line.
I want to clarify because I do agree with you to a certain extent, right? But you said the offensive line is not blocking for Jalen like they're blocking for Saquon in the running game. That sounds a little like they not blocking for Jalen like that. The issue is, point blank, they're better run blockers than they are pass protectors. And it doesn't matter who's back there. It just sounded a little bit like they're not blocking for Jalen. Like if it had been somebody else back there, they might block for him better. No, that's not the case. They're just better run blockers than they are pass protectors. We have a few that stand out as great pass protectors. I think the tackles both are great pass protectors. But that interior line sometimes, I don't think that's Landon's best job of
Well,
pass.
Cam and Landon, they still coming off of significant injuries, and I don't think they're fully up to strength yet.
Right. All right.
They're fully up to strength yet. Tyler Steen has actually been graded out Pro Football Focus as the best offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles so far. Tyler Steen.
Oh yeah. He has been playing, but yeah, and Wood says even the run game, and I agree with that. They are not blocking overall as well as they have in the past.
Well, we can be critical. Can we be a little bit critical in the win, even though we won the game? Like, I love that we won the game. A win is a win, no matter what it is. You can win by 1 point. You can win by 30 points. If you won the game in that column where it say W and L, it's gonna be a W. And I want those W's, just like you said, DarkKnight. If we go to Super Bowl and win like this, if it's a W in that column, that means we're the champs again, right? I agree with that. Like, in some points that we make, we agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we still agree that a win is a win. We still agree that a win is a win. And with that being said, I want to do my shot.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Now he's Pat's favorite follower. Dion says, "I know I'm late to this joint, but can I get a shot to my birds?"
No,
all right,
Dion.
so we're gonna do this shot. I know, Rachel. I cleared that up. He's not actually saying they won't block.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it.
I had to clarify. I wanted to make sure that's not what was happening. All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles cover show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team and celebrate its wins, and that is the Super Bowl defending undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Don't forget, if you have a beverage, you're an adult, it's an adult beverage. Doesn't have to be alcoholic. I'm drinking, well, I only got a corner left of my wife's herbal tea blend. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve, the same Woodford Reserve, the Lucky Woodford Reserve we were doing last year when we won the Super Bowl. So that's back in the house.
Make sure everybody know what it is. It's a Kentucky Straight Wheat.
It's Kentucky Straight Wheat. It's his first game back this season, and it has registered a win. So, everybody, raise your drink of choice, and let's take this celebratory shot for our Philadelphia Eagles. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. All right. I gotta get some of All right, our Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0, man. I'm happy about it. I know.
Can I say one positive?
Go ahead, one positive.
Shout out to the defense, man, because we asked the defense to get turnovers, and they've been in a positive turnover every single game this year. Mm-hmm. They have actually stood the test of these opponents against Kansas City, against the Rams, against Tampa, a hot Baker Mayfield. Down there in that heat. Yes, it might have been some of that heat that took over some of the players, because one of the guys said people were falling out in the stands. You know, even the Dallas Cowturds team that has a Dak Prescott that, you know, he always plays from behind and throws for 5,000 yards behind. But we were able to withstand the onslaught. And listen, I think we got generational talent on our side of the ball with Q, Cooper, Zach Bond is all pro. He's taking over that Fred Warner's position, right? It's the best middle linebacker in the NFC. Even Makuba, even though for his mishaps, he's actually been a solid safety for us. And Jahad Campbell, he's only going to get better from this. He's only going to get better from this. You learn from your mistakes, because without mistakes, you don't know what you need to get better with. So he's going to learn from these mistakes. And once we get a defensive rush, a pass rusher in the next 3 weeks, I think this defense is going to be the best defense in football by the end of the season.
I do too. I think that Vic is going to make the adjustments. They're going to adjust. This is a long season, and it's all a process. That's what I was about to say. It's all a process. It's a long season. Things have to develop. Some teams hit their stride early. Some teams, build up steam. We did this last year. We started off 2-2, and then we caught our stride.
Yeah.
So, it could happen any week. But and I'm saying until we catch our stride, and I'm saying this, and we have a 4-game winning streak. What are we talking about? Like,
no, Dark Knight. We got
put up with this until we catch our stride. We're 4-0. When we talk about we'll tolerate this until we catch our stride. Well, what's our stride? We're 4-0. We're on a 4-game winning streak over 3 playoff teams for last year. 3 teams that are considered Super Bowl contenders. And we're 4-0. But again, all right, I'll go with the crowd. I don't want to buck the crowd. I don't want to buck the trend. If we're going to, if we're just going to be satisfied until we hit our stride, then I'll ride with that. I'll ride with
it. I think we're going to hit our stride. I think after the bye week, which is like 3 games away, when we get Nolan Smith back, when the healthy N'Kobe Dean is starting to anchor this defense, and how he pulls I know how he's working the phones right now. I know he is. Look, it might have been the Heat. I give it to you. It might have been the Heat where it took some of the players out. I get it. We're 4-0, and I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I'm gonna take me another shot. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow and be all happy. Look, everybody gonna say, "Hey, the Eagles won. Go Birds!"
Yes,
right?
Again, man. You know what? How emotionally I'm invested in this team in football season, man. It's just, I'm not going to say it runs my whole life or anything, but it does help get my week off to a great start if we get a win on Sunday. I gotta admit that. You know what I mean? So I've been happy all season thus far. I don't have anything to be upset about. I watched this. I lived for the football season to roll around so I can watch my favorite football team, the defending Super Bowl champions, for this reason, to hopefully see them win the game. And they've done that 4 weeks in a row thus far. So what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm going to start my week off very happy. I know the haters are going to come and all that, but look, if you come to me, you better come correct. That's all I'm saying. If I come to you, I'm going to come correct. I can't come to you talking crap and my team is 0-4.
Yeah.
So if you coming, haters, come on, but make sure you come correct. Because I'm standing on 4-0. I'm standing on defending Super Bowl champions. I'm standing on all that. So just watch yourself.
There was a play though. Even though we scored on that drive, when Jalen ran for 29 yards up to the 1-yard line, Saquon went out to the flat, and I seen this play last year, right? When another running back from another team went out to the flat, or a wide receiver went out to the flat, and he acted like he was about to get the pass, and he caught the attention of the D-back. That's all Saquon had to do is act like the ball was coming, and Jalen walked in for that touchdown. It would have been a 32-yard touchdown run. But that's neither here nor there. We have a lot that we need to get better at. But as 4-0, I mean, you're 4-0.
4-0, man. We 4-0. I got a friend that is a Giants fan that lives in Delaware, and he sometimes listens to Philly sports talk, and he's like, and this is for people that are live outside of Philly. This is a perspective from people that are not Philadelphia fans, that are not from the Philadelphia area. He says, "Man, you guys are so passionate. You guys overreact on everything." He said, "You guys are Super Bowl champions, and you guys will boo your team. Like, I've never seen anything like that."
You want to know why? We live to the Rich Kotite era. We live to the Chip Kelly era. We live to the
his point being that we don't realize or appreciate how good we have it. They would die to have a Super Bowl team. They would die to have the last 8 seasons we had. There's a lot of teams that their fans who would die to have that type of success. Because we're not a flash in the pan franchise. We actually are a team and a franchise and an organization with a winning culture. You can see that. We have been winning more than we've been losing from 2001 to today. That's 25 years of sustained success. And we've even upped that a notch the last 8 years because we have 2 Super Bowls during that time. But in the 2000s, we were elite. We were contending every year for a Super Bowl. We go to 5 NFC championship games in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
But we go to 5 during that era. So we have a winning culture here. And I know that spoils us to a certain degree, especially as of late, because in the last 8 years, we have 2 Super Bowl wins, 3 Super Bowl appearances. But let's be grateful a little bit here. And I know that don't mean to not hold the team accountable, because that's what I consider. And I think that's the most from outside don't understand that that's what we're doing. We're keeping our team holding our team accountable. We're not as arrogant as you may think. We're intelligent. We're intelligent to know that we recognize when it's not good football. And we're accustomed to winning, and we're accustomed to winning because of playing good football. We're not accustomed to just squeaking out wins. That's not what has led to our winning culture.
No.
We're accustomed to winning and being dominant and doing it on a consistent basis for a long time. And I know it doesn't look like that now, and that's why we're upset. That's why
I'm not upset.
We're holding them accountable to play at a level that we know they're capable of playing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh God, somebody put the Kevin Cobb air.
Yes.
No. So you know what, Dark Knight, like literally these first 5 games is probably gonna be the best defenses we played all year. The Broncos, the Bucs, the Rams, KC, Dallas. I mean, Dallas was going to be the best defense we played with Michael Parsons, but he disappeared. They traded him. The second half of the season, we get the Giants, we get the Vikings, we get the Giants again, the Packers. The Lions is going to be a great game to showcase what we can do on offense. And the only reason I get so passionate about offense, because as a defensive player, you see the tendencies of offensive players, right? That's what you study, so you can be better prepared to play against an offense that is dynamic, that could be so dynamic as our Philadelphia Eagles team. And the faults that I see with our offense is that there is no flow, there is no symmetry, there is no identity. And I get it; it's 4 games.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold up, back up. I'm going to defend this because I'm one
not check.
That I will check our team when they're down. But to say like that's what we saw all game, you're giving the impression that we saw nothing good. You're giving the impression as if the first half didn't happen.
Like I'm on Fox News,
right?
No,
you're not giving us.
I did not say that. I said.
All right. I'm just saying what it sounds like.
I said we don't have an identity yet. As a defensive player, when I see there's no flow to our offense, there is no flow to our offense. We're talking about different halves, and our offensive flow is not there yet. They're force feeding. They're trying to force feed AJ Brown, when in the flow of an offense, it's going to happen naturally, and it has happened naturally.
All right,
in 2022. In 2022, it happened naturally in the flow of the offense. There's no.
What was the first half? What was that?
The first half was us just dominating, being a better team.
What does flow look like? What did would you consider the offense in the first half flow?
The offense in the first half was reminiscent to what it was previous week, and I was ecstatic about that.
No, I'm asking. You didn't answer my question. The offense from the first half, did the offense was that in the flow as you consider flow?
They were. They had a flow in the first half. Second
all right,
half,
well then say that. You know what I mean?
Say
that.
But Dark
when
Knight,
you saying our offense has no flow,
but the second
and you're
half,
telling me the first half it had
what
flow.
happened to that flow in the second half?
All right, that's what I'm saying.
Our defense stayed consistent. Our defense stayed consistent the whole game. The whole freaking game. Even with those 2 big plays that put the Buccaneers back into the game, they stayed consistent. They made tackles when they needed to make tackles. They made plays when they needed to make plays. Now, this offense, your best running back, who is extremely talented running back in this offense is only averaging 2.2, 2.3 yards a game, a run. He had 10 rushes for 20 yards. I get it. Don't get me wrong when I say we're getting the best from every player, from every game, from every team. I get that. But you have to consistently have flows going every single corner. You can't just say, all right, our first half we did this.
I
And this is the
understand.
same
All
thing
I
I said.
wanted you to do
It's the
was
same thing I
acknowledge.
said. Dark Knight. This is the same thing I said in 2022 when I said we are scoring in the first half, but we're not doing nothing in the second half. We have to make sure that we continue what we're doing in the first half in the second half, so we don't worry about putting teams. We're scoring points in the first half and scoring no points in the second half. Remember that the first 4 games, we were scoring points in the first half and no points in the second half.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm saying about this team is that
that's the team that went to the Super Bowl
and they lost. What I'm saying is
that wasn't because of that offense.
What I'm saying is this team has so much potential to be so much better consistently throughout the game, not just one quarter, not this the first half or second half, throughout the game, that you can put teams into submission before the fourth quarter, before 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're not on it as nervous over here shaking. I need to take my shot. Like Dark Knight, you was happy. You was dancing in the first half. Me too. I was like, this offense keep like this. They did a nice flow. They had a nice rhythm. The second half was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And
so it has
made
nothing to do
point.
with the first half. It has nothing to do with the first half. I love the first half. And I understand that it's going to take time. I get it. It's going to take time. And I pray and hope that next week, that we get up so much or our defense is able to do what they're doing that, we're not revisiting this conversation, right? And we're able to run a ball. But if we're not able to run a ball, we're not able to consistently get our playmakers the ball, that's an issue, Dark Knight.
All right, I hear your argument. I agree on a lot of points that this offense needs to be more consistent. But I was just, and maybe I'm nitpicking, I don't know, but it was just sounding like as if we haven't shown that we have flow. I know we have to be more consistent, then that's the problem. But we have shown flow. You know what I'm saying? We have shown flow. It's a matter of being consistent with that. You just brought up a great comparison to 2023. That's the offense that we all enjoyed.
2022, not 23.
22. All right, 22. 2022.
Right.
We enjoyed seeing that offense. That's when
did.
Jalen took the team and carried them on his back, so to speak. But, he was the runner-up MVP that year. And in that season, as you pointed out, remember when we only could put up points in the first quarter and couldn't put up points in the second half? That sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, at these past 2 games, how we can put up points and then hit a wall. But as the season went on, we finally got it together, right?
Yeah, I hope they do. I really hope they do.
We started to put fuller games together.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Why can't that happen this year? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that
I'm hoping it happens.
Seeing some improvement. I've seen 2 weeks consecutively where this offense has shown the explosiveness. I had seen that. You know what? I'm not going to even count. I'm not going to speak against Dallas because that first half of Dallas was similar too. That first half of Dallas, they put up 24 points. Right? So they moved the ball fluidly there. So we saw the first half there. We saw it none of the halves in the second game. We saw it in the second half of last week, and we saw it in the first half. So they are showing signs. It's a process that has to happen.
Correct.
We were wondering in that 22 season, when are they going to start scoring in the second half? Whenever they do, and I remember it vividly, whenever they start putting the whole game together, whenever they start scoring in the second half, we're going to be unstoppable. And it happened, and we were all the way to the Super Bowl. And we were even unstoppable in the Super Bowl. Jalen outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
He did.
One crucial mistake. We weren't as concerned. Well, I'm not going to say we weren't concerned, but we wasn't as laser focused on turnovers as we are now. This team now is laser focused on turnovers and winning the turnover battle. And that one turnover in 2022's Super Bowl cost us the game. This team is better to me than that team. And they're starting off kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
Although this team is 4-0. I'll take the 4-0. I'll take the 4-0 in the process of this OC and this offense figuring it out and playing better. We're a winning team. We're the defending Super Bowl champions. I don't see this team, reacting similarly to the team that collapsed. This is not that team.
We don't have no cancers on this team. We don't have no cancers.
We're not. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we don't have no cancers on this team. And everybody plays for each other. They play for their brother next to them. And that's one thing I enjoy seeing. They're happy for each other. Are we better than the 2-2 team? Because that week 5 came, that bye week in week 5 last year came at the perfect time. And you said it, Dante. They went 10 straight after that, and they needed that bye. I think the same thing. Like we need that. We need either a team where we can get right on, right, or we need the bye week so we can get healthy, we get our minds right, and we can get more laser focus. Because it's going to be teams that are going to take advantage of what the Buccaneers did. It's going to be teams that take advantage of what KC did.
They're going to attempt to. I mean, let's not be mistaken. Every team every week has tried to duplicate the previous week's team. People tried to duplicate what Dallas did to slow us down in the second half because that seemed successful, right? People tried to emulate what Kansas City did to make that a close competitive contest. The Rams tried to duplicate that. Now Tampa Bay is trying to duplicate everybody's trying to duplicate everybody, and we're still 4-0. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're gonna get out of here, man.
Oh no, Jackie came back. Jackie came back. I said I'm back in the room.
Back in the room. All right, Jack, you just came back in time to say goodbye. So we're gonna reconvene here on Thursday after we get a chance to look at the game and looking at the game film and recap what we saw today, man. You guys enjoy your week. You gotta have gratefulness, gratitude for what happened today. Our team is 4-0. We beat a tough team. They thought they were here, but they weren't here. And we held on and won, and I'm going to be very happy beginning my week tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day of football. Tonight's game is a must-see. The Cowturns take on the Green Bay Packers, and they face their former player, Micah Parsons, for the first time. Enjoy rooting against the Cowboys. Enjoy this win. We'll see you on Thursday. I'm your man, DarkKnight, for Pat and Nichelle in her absence. We'll see you guys Thursday. We're out. Peace.
Live in 5.